Reading command na teacher for laptop ho ensensem no teachers mate 1 ho ensensem no na ye ka ho asem ebimosi ati omo 590 ebimosi ati omo 600 Ghana cedis ebimo kasa for the quality of the laptops are ye supply the teacher for no ebimosi unions no ne government and afiabomu a one by force one person supply laptops at the more. Some say they haven't gotten their laptops. The teacher unions are saying say by the end of the year, all those who have not received their laptops must get their laptops. Some intend to protest. Ninano yedi enkoman sana ye free SHS phones and seminars yedi atwaso per omanpenin sem kakra kan. Dave, good morning.
Good morning.
Na enom disano for you.
Me do me here na.
Bibia de do. All right, we find this out. Send a day no anopai issue be on my own table but ufili senka yenka ho asem ansana ya hyase ana.
Sami medical achia ahwefo na tiefo nyina. Mechia menua awudu. Enso bebia wo bia nyame ma no ahonde na onye de oye. Issue a damakuma so of course corruption issues.
Okay.
But weekend no I think getting to last weekend about say Omanpenyi enya award bi. Yeah, if say Forbes magazine, Forbes African magazine, I'm an award say or African of the year. Na emu and follow-ups no na instead and to asumu say the same for Forbes magazine no enye so credible nti
Forbes nye credible.
Forbes magazine Africa award no enye credible award.
Okay, how?
In particular the one omudima Omanpenyi no it's marks of a few questions. It is coming up say editor and the promoter of that award no eye Omanpenyi na ne ebusuani ena enu esa dead says wo hwe abak magazine no award no na abakosema omo a omunya anya award no epen and they have mentioned a particular one called Hush Puppy. A brand to be on Nigeria, and a friend on a friend saying Ramon Abbas, a friend Hush Puppy. No, na time a woman Hush Puppy award we na a woman say or a businessman of the year. I say African of the year, and they focus on his business acumen and all that, and it turned out to be say. He was a super fraudster. Yeah, Seminu Kase. He has made admission in the U.S. where he's been he faced trials and facing 20-year jail term. Say, now oye fraud and money laundering. And for such an institution to award our president, I don't see. And of course, it's not this. Only Akufo-Addo. We have had situations in the past where it appears our leaders, government, particularly the presidency, are used to going for awards, the so-called international awards, to show up their image, which is very unfortunate, and I see it as a distraction, obstruction, if I may say. Say, Yama Juma ni so obehwe say friends on minor yediwa to say here so no ebe. What is your business with chasing awards to make yourself look good? I think say normally when it starts like this there are many more to come, and I would advise say the people around the president and the president himself should not obstruct themselves. There are so many problems facing the country that they must fix, and we don't need this unnecessary obstruction. A friend say, "See, Omanpenyi Man Award. Look, except that some of us don't want to go into this thing of award. Yeah, more awards already.
Just a quick one. The Hash Puppy Award, a year bang, Forbes Award, a year bang.
I think it's 3 years ago.
3 years ago. Okay, all right. Because I'm trying to find out. Even on Forbes, their website as well. Those they have given these awards to. Abbas doesn't feature there.
Abbas was one. I mean, it's on record. Abbas was. Let me.
I'm trying to find. I'm not finding any trace of him ever getting, Forbes award. No, I'm not finding any trace like that. I have seen that statement all over the place, but I'm not finding.
It's a fact. It's a fact that cannot be disputed by the award promoters.
Okay.
So
anyway.
So I'm just saying, it is none of the business of government, people around the president or the president himself to go chasing after awards. After all, the people you are supposed to look after, the job of running a country to develop has got nothing to do with awards. And you often see when this thing happens, you see the proteges of the government, the apologies of the government come, trumping it up as if it is what we have elected them to do. My concern is that it's unnecessary obstruction, and they should avoid it. Because when you start going in there, people are forced to tell you why you don't deserve certain awards. And with due respect, those around the president who may have engineered this, or who may have, even if it was given to them genuinely, I think that, they better keep it in the president's office to show the people who come to visit him than to tell all of us how the president is performing so well and that's why he's been given the awards. Because if you ask me for an award that should represent the African of the Year, I don't think President Akufo-Addo fits in it. I'm being honest with you. And I have not studied their criteria so much, but
if he was the African of the Year, criteria, and I say, what do you look out for if you're looking at somebody being given an award?
Unless the African of the Year is not supposed to do his work diligently. His work, if he's a president, he must be able to give his people what they actually need. He must tackle the main issues of his country, the problems facing his country. And even if you put it in the category of presidents, look at the president, Rwandan president, the Kenyan president, let's say the South African president. If I even pick only the president, I don't think President Akufo-Addo fits to be the African of the Year.
In your mind,
if the African of the Year
in your mind,
is to be
who should be African of the Year in your mind?
Look,
give me 3 presidents that you think on the continent would merit such an award.
African of the Year, I wouldn't say a president. Of the president merits
we are talking about.
But if it's supposed to be in the category of presidents,
look at presidents.
In the category of presidents,
in the sphere of presidents,
I would say that. Well, it's difficult for me to say right now, but I still think that on top of my head, even if I mention the first 3, President Akufo-Addo will be one of them.
All right. Well, let's proceed. Teachers' laptops saga. The brouhaha, the fact that teachers are being given laptops. Some say that the laptops don't meet their specifications. Some say they didn't, let's say, agree to that in the first place. Some are complaining about the bulk amount that is being deducted from their money, which is their 30% contribution. Some are saying that it is not their duty to buy laptops. And that if indeed government feels the need for them to have laptops to teach students, it should be government procuring it all, not necessarily having them, pay some percentage before they are given. What in some demonstrations, I was a course what thoughts on it in the same?
Sami, teachers' laptop assembly. I think say we need to identify 4 main issues.
Okay.
One of them is the deduction of the official deduction they have agreed on, as we've come to know, is 509.
Okay.
Which excludes the interest they were to pay on it.
Okay.
And that's one. The second issue has to do with whether or not the teachers or the teacher unions were involved in the procurement processes. There is another issue of whether the laptop itself is appropriate for the work the teachers are supposed to use it for. It's conducive for the work the teachers are supposed to use it for. And the last but not the least is, why are we expecting teachers to pay for the laptops? Now, first of all, is this, you recall that the amount, the teacher's contribution itself is being deducted from a certain source. The source, they said continuous professional development allowance. So you ask, what has the and it's like their fund. It belongs to them. Is their money being saved for them? And so one would ask, this money, they are entitled to this money every year. So one would ask, why should the government put their hands in somebody's money? Okay, put their hand in their money, the teacher's money, without engaging them. Now, they have talked about some levels of engagement, and if you followed it well, you realize that from the beginning there were confrontation between the leadership of the teacher unions and their members, which means even if any consultation was done at all, it would have been at only the level of the leadership of the union, but not the members. And so proper engagement was not done to arrive at the decision to use their fund to purchase these computers.
Okay.
Now, the issue of the conduciveness of the machines, we are told, for instance, that the contract was awarded to a company called KA Technologies, which was formed almost around the same time this contract was awarded. That there is no evidence of or track record of the company doing the same and doing it diligently, ever. So the first time they ever had the business of supplying computers to any institution, talk less an institution like a huge institution like the various teacher union groups, this was the first time they had such a contract. And the contract was awarded by the Ministry of Education. So, one would ask, what was the ministry's business in buying the computers for teachers? If you and I want to use computer, why do we need the ministry to buy the computers for us? Now, if the reason was that they wanted the teachers to use their computers for virtual teaching processes, the other end, if you are doing virtual training or virtual teaching, it means the students must have some computers to connect on the other side to read whatever the teachers are teaching them. How sure are we that the people or the teachers, the students, do have computers to access the virtual learning? So it doesn't look like any deep thought went into it. Now, what softwares are they using, for instance? And I have heard teachers who had access to these computers said that, look, their capacity is so low. And then when they said their capacity is low, the technicians will be asking what brand of computer it is. What are the features? These features are not well disclosed. It is said to have been assembled in Ghana here. By who? Which quality assurance actually certified that this assembled computer is useful for the purpose they are using it for? So all those due diligence are what the teachers have been asking for. And I think that if you are buying for me, you are using my money to buy it. Not to forget that you've not even consulted me in taking the decision. If you are using my money to buy such a thing, I must have a say in what quality I want as well. None of those is done. Those who have used the machine, when you ask them, they tell you the internet being supplied from the various schools to access these computers. When you queue in, when you log on, within a short period, the computer is freezing. So if the computer is freezing at the least opportunity, it means it is not conducive. So for me, to sum it up, I think this business of buying computer for these teachers is a matter of create, loot, and share. They must just create a situation, a policy or a situation where some people must milk from, that must enrich some people. Other than that, I think there should be no reason why this computer purchasing should degenerate into corruption or, back and forth between teachers and the ministry. The ministry has too much to do.
Let me ask this. How many teachers and a woman teachers are ketua send isusa 2000 2008 will be in the sika 1008 so per the new syllabus on running we have computer in order to teach well. Now in sika na ketua no infant say 2000 infant say 3000 Ghana cedis senior teacher no ye mu 2000 say what kwakoto laptop no they are kochirade teachers do ahene be say
you see
say aban na dwene say ye boamo amama to laptops na emu kan ye fa 70% na mo fa 30% had bone auntie be describing say ye create loot and share.
Let me see. Say I'll come to the create loot and share if you want me to explain it better. Police for so muko omupia bonti no muko bo nkofo ho ban omutu no ho na eto
aban
a doctor for a equipment no mo use or a friends hospital so one eto. So why must the teachers own be different? Why do you need to buy laptop for them? If you feel the need for them to use laptop to teach, why do you need to buy, why must they buy it themselves? On market you are saying, look, this year a report education management information system Ediaba Bontin report on Mudiaba from 2020 to 2021. Teacher for more free jai adichireno. They're about 18,000 and over. So one would ask why are they leaving? Their condition of service, they have complained over and over again. They didn't start today. They've complained about conditions of service over and over again. And computer is a list of their conditions of service. So the issue of buying laptop for them, if you don't have the need for the laptop, you don't buy it, do you? If you must have it, there must be a reason for you to buy it. Now, if 1,800, I have to buy a laptop. If you ask me that I need laptop to use, whether I'm buying it at 3,000, 5,000, 1,008, it is my own issue. The policy is that you must use computer, and I tell you, there are teachers who they have their own computers and use because they want to upgrade their knowledge. They go in there to access all kinds of. They use it for their private purposes, and I like I said, I don't see how the use of the laptop is necessary for the teaching. Not that I don't say they don't need laptop or they don't laptops are not useful to teachers. I'm saying that because if it's for the teaching, the virtual learning purposes, the students need to have laptops as well. How sure are we that the students have laptops to access this teaching? This teaching by the teachers. So it's a policy, and the ministry or government, you cannot just out of the blue come out with a policy in the middle of everything and say, oh, teachers have laptops. How are you going to ensure that the students also have laptops? So it's a policy that doesn't look like it's been thought through very well. It was just, that's why I brought the create, loot, and share in, particularly when it is looking like the procurement process also wasn't well done. So if someone is in a hurry to make money for somebody, that is why I brought in the create, loot, and share. Other than that, one, the program was not thought through very well.
But these concerns you are raising, I mean, we had RLG supplying computers back then.
Yeah.
The students have computers then?
I thought the RLG computers were supposed to be for students as well, the people's. Was it not free laptop for students?
The RLG one?
Yes, was it not?
But I don't know the components as to what number was meant for students and what number was meant for teachers.
I know there were laptops meant for teachers, students, and certain other categories. I know there was some made for journalists as well, but the quality was what was being questioned. I have seen one of those laptops and the quality was very bad. So that was...
But necessarily, should the date of registration of a firm matter when it comes to procurement? For instance, I'm a young businessman who is into fleet management, and though I am young, I have the experience from other places that I can bring to bear if a bank decided to support me to acquire fleet of cars for a project that government is doing and needs those cars. And I'm able to secure funding from a bank to purchase these things and supply to government. What stops me from doing that business, regardless of date of registration?
Well, first of all, there are procurement regulations. What's the date of regulation? Registration of the company may not be so necessary when you are talking about the genuineness of the contract. You start looking there when the procurement processes were not followed thoroughly, i.e. advertising the procurement tender and allowing everybody else to bid for it, so that you will be sure that you are getting the best offer. That was not what was done under this circumstance. It wasn't an open tender.
Sole sourced?
It was sole sourced.
This particular
project?
Yes,
this is a sole source contract. Other than that, the procurement process wasn't transparent. So that is when you start questioning. Okay, if it wasn't transparent, would there be a reason why they would do this, they would do that? Why would they be just not being interested in making sure that the process go transparently? Now, then you start asking the question: when was the company formed? Who are behind the company? Okay, so this is when the date becomes an interesting subject.
Okay.
So ordinarily, if you register a company today and you got a business tomorrow, it may not be a problem. But where the contract smacks of some questions, then you need to start asking: when was it formed? Who are behind it? What is their track record and all that? So that is to respond to that. So I'm saying that, look, why do we need to take 509 Ghana cedis out of the teacher's meager salary or fund to procure laptops which are defective in quality? We are spending so much money on things that are very important to us, including hiring of private jets and all that, which is so much money. I don't think that paying 509 on behalf of teachers if it is so necessary by the government, was too much to ask for. And I also don't think that the policy itself was well thought through. Like I said, when I look at it inside out, I would say this is create, loot, and share policy to enrich some people at the expense of the poor teachers.
Well, the create, loot, and share, I still find it difficult, trying to understand who benefits, who are the beneficiaries. If you say that it's a create, loot, and share, who benefits?
Who benefit? The person who the contract has been awarded to, and perhaps the unseen hands which may be behind it.
And so that businessman, is that businessman in any way linked to the NPP?
I'm saying that is the I would have no doubt that is.
No, but Dave, if you don't have,
I would have no doubt. I didn't make that claim, but I'm saying that, given the nature of the contract and the brouhaha around it, I won't be surprised that it is just some party financier, party apparatchiki who has to get this contract, and that is why 509 Ghana Cedi is being hung on the neck. I can't confirm it.
So that it can't be a case of create, loot, and share.
I'm just using the circumstances around it. Okay, circumstances around the contract and the whole project, to say that I wouldn't be surprised. I don't have any evidence as at yet to say it is minister or former minister of the ministry who are benefiting. But I know that these are educated people. They understand procurement policies, and they understand how government is run. So they could not be making a mistake. Now, if they could not be making a mistake and they've made these mistakes, it could only hinge on something. I don't know what it is. I'm not, I haven't done that research to know, but I think that there's something shady about this business.
Well, just for, purposes of education, that the owner of, the company, is called Nana Kwabena Kwati, who's a pastor and an entrepreneur. This is not the first time he's been in that space. He's the founder of Enigma IT, a software company that deals with solutions to information technology and related issues, which is at Spintex Road. And so
Enigma
IT.
IT.
And so the background as to what they've done before is there, as to the capabilities of KA Technologies in that sphere.
No,
and
you are talking about, you're talking about KA Technology and you're talking about Enigma.
Yes.
Those are two companies.
Yes, but the owner of these two entities is the same individual I have mentioned, Mr. Kwati.
If you go there, it will be difficult for you to tell me why he was not using Enigma but KA Technology.
Well, for that one, I wouldn't know.
A company is supposed to be independent on its own.
Of the, yes.
So if he's using Enigma, you cannot use whatever track record Enigma has to
But you also agree
KA.
with me that from all we have read, we are told that the TM1 is customized for teaching purposes, in the sense that it has a software that allows for teachers to make their notes, do whatever they have to do, both online and offline at the same time.
We all know softwares are different from the hardware. The
yes,
teachers are complaining about it.
This is an inbuilt software into the platform.
But who's certified? There has been question, for instance, as to whether the computer has been certified for such use. And who did? Who did the certification?
Obviously, there is a standards authority.
Are you saying that on authority?
I wouldn't know, but I'm just saying that for a massive contract like this,
that's what should be done.
Yes.
But those information have not come, and if indeed they have been done, it would have been known by now.